2, and I am calling this meeting of the DuPage County Ad-Hoc Fine Arts Committee to order. May we please have a roll call?
Desart, Garcia,
Here.
Hart, LaPlante,
Here.
Rutledge,
Here.
Selman. Here.
Great, thank you. I move to approve the minutes from our regular meeting on Tuesday, August 31st, 2021.
Second.
And okay, great. And then we do not have to do a roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Okay, that motion passes. Do we have any public comments today? Wonderful. Okay, for my remarks, it's just to say a real sincere thank you to everyone who has reached out so kindly to say thank you for making that tough choice. That was the right call. And even, looking over our last update from Friday with, terrible numbers, I am convinced this is the right thing to do. We really have to do our part. Every single person here has to do their part to stop the spread of this Delta variant and to prevent other new variants from popping up. So I would just like to say how wonderful all the artists were. Everyone said, I completely understand, count me in for the date change. And that's really helpful because that was sad. And we're all sad and COVID is sad, but this is our reality for right now. And so this is the best we can do. With that in mind, we have come up with a new a resolution and we want to discuss the new dates. Oh, hi, Terry. I'm glad. Hi, nice to see you. So we have new dates that we would like to discuss. I do not see Jim McGuire here, but Jim and I talked, because obviously we have to make sure that it works for the fairgrounds, right? And so I talked to Jim. We came up with some dates. The date that we're really interested and excited about is Memorial Day weekend. I asked him, do people normally look for something to do that weekend in DuPage County, or are there people out of town? And he said, no, they absolutely are looking for things to do. He thinks that's a terrific weekend and historically for events at the fairgrounds that have worked out really well. So we're talking May 27th, 28th, and 29th. I also did talk to Greg Bedeloff to just check in with our business partners in the business community since we were working so closely together. He also reiterated he thinks it's a fantastic date and a great way to kick off the summer. So with that idea of that date, is there any discussion that anyone would like to talk about with that? What do you guys think? Memorial Day weekend.
Love it.
Love it. Thank you. Okay.
I think people are really going to be looking forward to something to celebrate, especially as we look at the numbers. If
Yeah.
none of us have a crystal ball, but I don't think I'm incredibly optimistic about a very social winter.
No.
So
Right.
getting to a late spring and being able to do stuff again, and it's nice to have something on the calendar.
Kids won't be out of school yet, so.
Right. So people are
won't
still
be
in town.
Spreading out.
Exactly. Exactly. And yes, to your point, we don't know what's going to happen, what the end of May is going to look like, because I don't think any of us would have predicted this, but all we can do is keep being optimistic, cautiously optimistic, and keep making plans and moving forward. There is no other option. And then we always have to adjust and follow the science. Okay. So let's move on to the resolution. And I would like to ask Nick Kottmeyer if he would speak to and walk us through this resolution.
Certainly.
Thank you.
So the reason why we obviously are meeting today, we were originally thinking maybe we can push it off a couple weeks, but you have a resolution in place that calls for the Fall Fine Arts Festival being September 24th and 26th. So unless if we got it approved today and got it approved at Finance and Board next week, it would be a little bit weird to have something approved after it was supposed to happen. So
Right.
timing wise, this is perfect. So basically, we have an agreement in place that calls for that to happen, at the end of September. So we had to modify and account for the new date. And if you see what was in your packet, we left there's basically 5 items on it. First one is basically the new date, which is now set for May 27th through May 29th. So we will modify that accordingly. And maybe that can be part of your motion as you approve it. So we'll do that. The second one is instead of pulling back the money and then giving it to them again, in early spring, it was a couple wasted steps in there. So the thought process is he's going to keep this lined out. I think his accounting that he's done He has maybe 5,500 that he's given out for deposits that are still good for that. So it just makes sense, especially if fundraising happens the next couple of months, you have a home for the money coming in.
Yep.
So there's no downside for that, and they still have to do the full accounting, so everything that was required in the original one will still be in place. If you remember, we had to take through a separate agreement for the ticketing pricing. So what we're saying in this agreement, all of those hold. There's no changes in those, so we don't do any further actions. And I'm assuming the fourth one, it talks, we have to have all of our, everything vacated by the fairgrounds on a certain date. And I'm glad Jim joined us. So if we're done May 29th, I'm assuming we're gonna put May 30th in that everything vacated by the fairgrounds. Jim, does that work for you?
You're
You're muted.
He said that's fine when he started.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
All right,
Jim.
so May 30th.
Yeah, can you just unmute just so we read your lips,
I
but
don't
if you
know
could,
why he's muted though, because his.
sometimes his camera.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
All
great.
right, so we'll do May 30th, and then basically all of the provisions stay in place. So if those changes work for the ad hoc group, then we will implement those, and no other additional actions are needed to have the spring fine arts festival.
Wonderful, great, wonderful, great. So thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate you walking us through that. So yeah, to just reiterate and to be clear, it's all a go, just with a different date. And we're still gonna be working this whole time and behind the scenes. We announced that we were going to postpone it. I was still working that afternoon on some grant initiatives, so nothing has stopped. We're gonna keep moving forward. So that's terrific. All right, I will entertain a motion. Oh, excuse me, yes, Member
So I'd
Rutledge.
like to make a motion to amend the contract date to that May 27th, 28th, 29th of 2022, based on the explanation by Nick and the input of the committee.
Vacating by May 30th, add that in there as well.
Yes,
I'm sorry, say that once more? I mean,
add in that we're vacating by the 30th.
The other-
oh, okay, vacating by the 30th from the fairgrounds.
Right. Okay, is there any discussion on that? No, then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Seeing none, then that
Now you-
resolution,
No,
okay.
now you move on the resolution.
Now I will entertain a motion on the resolution. As amended. FAR 0339A-21, recommendation for the approval of an amendment to the agreement between the DuPage County Fair Association and the County of DuPage for the use of the DuPage County Fairgrounds for a fine arts festival.
Second.
Wonderful. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? None against. That resolution passes. Wonderful, thanks. Is there any old business? Seeing none, any new business? Okay, I would just like to say that we're going to keep working behind the scenes now. We probably will not meet as a committee for a while, probably till we're looking at December, taking a little break while we tie up all the, get every single vendor, every artist, all the community partners, and we get them all set for the new date. So we're going to be doing that and just focusing on all of that for the next couple of months. And then we'll start, and no new business though, just getting the new date in. And then we'll reconvene in December. Wonderful. Then I call this meeting, let's adjourn it at 2:10. Pardon me?
You could say
Without
without
objection.
Oh, without objection, we are adjourned.